Hello. Hola from the living side. Living it with Ruky Extra right here. Thank you for being a part of today's show. Thank you for joining me. In case you haven't subscribed yet, just hit the subscribe icon. It's just down there so you can get feedbacks, update on what's new on Living It with Ruky. Okay, moving on. Today I'm talking about something very interesting. You would like it. And I have a special feature that is, don't worry. Okay, so I'm talking about practicing. Practicing. Okay, I like to be very relatable. I always say, how many of you know that I'm a lawyer? Yes, I didn't just go to school for 5 years to study law. I got called to the bar. Yes, I went for law school, passed the bar, and I got called, so I'm a barrister. And most times, a lot of people that know this part of me, they keep asking me, why aren't you practicing? Like, why? You just went to school for 5 years, 6 years, 7 years if you're to add the youth service period, and you're not practicing. Like, it's a waste of money, it's a waste of time. And my response is always this: it's not a waste. That study of law is very, very instrumental to everything I'm doing today. Yes, I may not be into active legal practice. I do a bit of corporate legal practice whenever the opportunity comes around, But in terms of, you went to school to study law, advocacy, you litigation, you go to court and you battle cases for people, try to fight for people, stand in for people, speak up for people, and all of that. But I don't really fancy that part of my legal study. It's sweet, it's nice, it's good, but it's not my core. So instead, I use that part of what I learned all through my schooling. I put in that effort of advocacy into every other thing I do, into business dealings. Like, I speak for people, I advocate for people. I use my channel, I use my outfits, to put word out there for people. I'm speaking up for people at every point in time. That's besides my private legal practice, corporate legal practice, help people put up agreements, draftings, and all of that, So in terms of legal practice per se, I'm not into it full time, but I'm into corporate legal practice. So the question of practicing, like, why aren't you practicing? It may not be what you want, it may not be the way you think it is, but I am practicing. I'm using my media outfit to reach out to people, advocate for people. If you've watched the last 2 episodes, you'll find my short clip about rape. That's another way. I'm not standing in the courtroom trying to pick up a rape case, a rape charge, and trying to say this person did this, that and all. No, but I use my platform to advocate for people. I use my platform to speak up for people. I use my platform to fight for what is right, for justice, because I believe it. It's something that is in my bones, beyond just the study of law, beyond the practice of media. I use my channel, my outfit, to advocate for people. So in detail, let's talk about this word practicing. I have a special feature. Okay, if you've watched Coming to America, one of my favorite movies of all time, man, I can't count how many times I've seen that movie. I've seen that movie so many times that if you find yourself on any hot seat, I'm telling you seriously, if you find yourself in a hot seat and you're being asked a question about Coming to America, if you call me, that for the friend option, if you call me, trust me, you're going to win that billion naira that you're trying to win, because I will give you the answer. Even if you wake me up from sleep, that's to tell you how much I've seen Coming to America. Now, there's a character in that movie, not Eddie Murphy. Eddie Murphy is a great character. In fact, thinking about it, is one amusing character. Okay, so let me focus on the person I'm talking about today. The man with the voice. The man with the voice that carries authority, charisma. When he speaks, everybody stands still. I'm trying to mimic his voice, but I don't have that depth of bass in my vocals, so you won't hear it. Just hear his voice, then I'll come and talk about him.
That's a great irony for me. It probably gave me an appreciation for those who could speak and for those who spoke well. Being a silent person, I said, it's not that I said, I wish I could do that. It's just that I really like that. I really like hearing that. So in the back of my mind, there was a need to learn how to speak again, just to speak at all.
Yes, do you recognize that voice? Do you? Can you guess who it is? None other than James Earl Jones. That's a very, very, very mighty man when you talk about acting, his vocals, his voice. It carries authority. You know, anywhere I hear his voice, I know this is this man's voice. And it's when I did a little research. I was researching on something else when I stumbled on this is audio. And I'm like, wow, it was actually being interviewed on BBC back in the early 90s. And that's what he had to say about his voice and how he had to learn how to use his voice, like use his voice for real. You know, he got accolades and compliments about his voice and all. So he had to get into that vocal space to like see, I need to learn how to, this is my voice, this is it. It's not just someone trying to give me a hype. He knows his onions quite alright. He's not oblivious of what he can do with his vocals, but he had to learn how to put his voice into good use for himself. And his voice is worth, his voice is worth so much. You need to Google him, do a little research on him for yourself so it can help you. I'm not going to give you all the scoop here because it's not all about my topic for today. So I just cited that instance to relate something to you. As big as that man is, James Earl Jones, and how his voice carries so much weight, so much charisma and authority, he had to realize that he needed to make good use of the voice. And from time to time, he went to practice, how to use his voice, For me, there was a year, I think that was 2016, yes. 2016, I woke up and I couldn't speak. I wasn't dumb. No, I wasn't dumb, but I lost my voice. I couldn't speak. When it's not like I went to sing. I'm a singer, yes. I'm a talker, yes. I didn't do singing, a lot of singing or a lot of talking, but I just woke up one morning and I could not find my voice. It was something like, when you open your mouth to talk and you're like, it was funny, seriously. It was funny. People around me found it amusing. And I didn't find it funny. Like what? I'm trying to say something. I'm trying to pass an information across, but I'll just open my mouth wide and it was frustrating. And that happened on a Saturday morning, I think. And I had a lot of things to cover, to do between Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Yes. So on Wednesday, I had to deliver a presentation and I needed my voice for that presentation. But if my voice did not come back, I wouldn't have been able to deliver that presentation. That was when I realized the importance of my voice and the importance of practicing using my voice right. Normally you just go to bed, wake up, and you open your mouth and you're talking. You want to sing, maybe you do a little warm up and you're singing, You have to do a presentation, you go there, everything is put together, you speak, and it just comes out so well. But that period made me realize the importance of my voice and its use, and how if I don't pay attention to how I use my voice, how I put it into practice, I may lose it completely. I told you I had something very important to do 4 days after that day the whole thing started. So I had to I started writing up what I had to say around the house. I'm trying to, what have you eaten? Do you want to eat? I'll have to write it. I'll start trying to do sign language and all. And a day later, I had an opportunity to go to the beach. I felt okay, yeah, let me just go and unwind, even though I don't have a voice to say anything, to shout, woo, but I'll find myself in a space where I can just be with nature, be with, some coolness of the atmosphere and all. Can you believe that just in the space of, how many hours did we spend at the beach that day? It wasn't more than, let's say, 3 hours thereabouts. When I was leaving the beach, my voice was restored to an extent. Not completely, but to an extent. From to like, I was surprised. I could even sing. And I had to tell myself, from that day, I'll start using my voice right. I'll start putting my voice to good use. I'll start paying attention to my voice, because my voice is my tool. I talk, I sing, I speak, I act. Everything I do revolves around the use of my voice. So if I don't practice, if I don't work on my voice, I may lose it, or I may not have it in use to the best potential, to its best use. You get what I'm saying? Yes. So James Earl Jones, the man with the voice, the baritone in his voice that carries so much authority. In that clip I showed you earlier, yeah, he talked about how he had to learn how to put his voice to good use. He had gotten a lot of accolades and all. He had to put his voice to good use. So what is it that you have? What is it that is your tool? And maybe you haven't paid so much attention to it. You need to work on it. Pay attention to that thing that is your tool. It could be your fingers. You write. For surgeons, it's their hands. They can't imagine themselves unable to hold the scapula and all of those things they use for their surgical operations. So you have to pay attention to how you use your hands. I write as well, and I write in terms of beyond handwriting. I don't like writing with pen. Let me just tell you, I don't like the writing with pen. My handwriting sucks. My handwriting is not nice. Sometimes I write something, and if I try to read it some minutes later, I'll be looking, what's this thing again? How can I not know what I wrote? My handwriting looks like foot writing, so most times I prefer typing. So my fingers, my hands, my mouth, they are my tool of trade. I write, I speak, I talk, I sing. So if I don't practice, if I don't do everything, all it takes to ensure that these things, which are my tools, are sharpened with time, I may lose them, or I may lose using the ability to use them to their full potential. Leaving It with Ruky, when it was on radio as Leaving It, aired for a few months between May and December, and went off the waves for 3 years plus. And I told myself, coming back to Leaving It with Ruky the way I wanted to go, it would be very sudden to just move from, I've been off the airwaves, for a while. The last time I was on radio, it was in an interview, when I was being interviewed for my first movie, Staying Alive. So beyond those little interviews, coming back as a host, a talk show host, if I don't work on my words, how I put my words together, how I carry myself, my look, my charisma, packaging, and all of that, it will be very, very disastrous to just suddenly move from the acting space. I can act a storm. Yes, I can act a stump. I try. So beyond moving from the acting phase, directing stage or phase, production phase, and just moving straight to talk show host, welcome to Living It with Ruky, blah 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 blah. I can do it, but over time, it's me. You may find some friction in the delivery because I haven't worked on this thing in a while. And they say if you don't put something into use for a while, it begins to rust. It develops some kind of friction and all. So that's like, okay, Living It with Ruky, the appetizer show, extra. It's like a way to get into the game, get into the talk show game again. Try to remember how I do this thing that I do so well, so that when I transit to Living It with Ruky, the main show, it's not gonna be it's gonna be so classy and all, seamless. Instead of me starting the show and we have to do a lot of takes and retakes and first takes and all takes. Let me tell you, this take of this show you're watching now, Living It with Ruky Extra, this is the second take, and the first take was just to ensure that my camera was properly positioned. And when I knew I've gotten the angle, and I started running with the second take, like straight up. There is no break in transmission, whatever the weather or the distraction would be. It's just a straight take. So if I don't work on all of this, if I don't practice, when I get to the main show, I may find it difficult to move from one segment to another. When the floor manager is telling me do this, and be like, I need to, so much commotion and catastrophe in the air, so to say. So your tool of trade, that's the underlining part of today's show. What's your tool of trade? You need to put it into practice. If James Earl Jones, as classy and charismatic and authoritative and cool as his vocals, as his voice is, if he had to speak and say, I had to learn, he had to learn how to use his voice again, how much more you? What's that thing that you do so well? What do you use? What are the tools for that thing? You need to put them into practice. Sharpen your skills. If you're a caterer, you're a chef, you don't just go to a cooking competition without first doing a lot of practice yourself. You may not have had the opportunity to cook anything in a while, but when you have something to do, you try to put it into practice as much as you can. Are you a comedian? Those jokes, don't wait till you get the big platform before you put those jokes together. Start writing them down. Start putting them down. Start practicing them on yourself. Look in the mirror. Tell yourself those jokes, and if they are funny to you, if it can even make you laugh once, know that okay, it can pass. Depending on the problem or whoever is listening to the joke has. Whatever you do, you're into creative writing. You tell storytelling and all. Your tool, you need to put them into practice. Some people, they are the thinkers. Just bring something to them and they will help you shape it. That means your brain has to be sharp. Beyond just spontaneously doing things, you practice. On your own, you sit down, you try to come up with something, even if no one is going to make use of it. It's yours. Your brain, your creativity, your ability is yours to use. It's not wasted. It can only be held down for a period of time, but eventually it's yours to hold and to use. So you need to put them into practice. So whatever you have in you, whatever gift, whatever talent, whatever is your career path, you need to work on it. Constantly put them into practice. You're good with technology. Don't wait till someone comes for you to develop an app. Start developing an app. Start practicing. The little knowledge you have, put it into good use. Sharpen your skills. It will help you in the long run. So when opportunity comes to you, you're not trying to get ready. You're not trying to warm up. You are a singer. You wake up in the morning. Don't wait till you have a gig before you start. So warm up. Do your singing. Do your recording. Whatever you have to do. Practice. Keep practicing. Work on it, because any minute from now you get that phone call, that email, that message that will lead you to your next level of growth. On that note, I'll call it a wrap on today's show. I hope you learned a thing or two about practicing, and you're going to take a decision to work on your craft by practicing. Yes, I hope you will. So the word for today is practice, 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 practice. Yes, keep practicing. Practice, practice, practice. You know, they say practice makes perfect. When you keep practicing, you'll be top notch, at what you do. Okay, thank you for being a part of today's show. If you have any inquiries, adverts, sponsorships, please do send a mail to livingitwithruky@gmail.com. livingitwithruky@gmail.com. And let me hear from you. If you need to, we need to work on something together, you need to practice one or two things, send a mail. Let's talk about it. You can also follow the community on Instagram at livingitwithruky. Easier there. You can just DM me, just chat about everything you have to say about today's topic. Feel free to send in your comments. Drop it down there in the comment segment what you think about this topic, practicing, and how you on your own part have been working on your skills and practicing, holding your skills, and ensuring that everything goes well for you. Please subscribe to this channel. You see that icon there, subscribe. Just subscribe so you can get what's new at every point in time. Yes. On that note, it's a wrap. I want to say goodbye, but before I say goodbye, I'll tell you something that means so much to me. You know what it is? You would only get better when you act better.